At the end of the day, that's why like we're saying this, because it's not all.
Yeah. Hey weirdos,
Hey.
Welcome to our video. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you know when we post, because we're now posting every Tuesday and Saturday. At least we are really trying so far. So good.
Work with us here.
Yeah, and if you guys have any ideas of stuff you really want to see, put that in the comments below, because we really want to post what you guys want to see.
Yeah.
So with that,
A lot of people said that they really wanted to see more cooking videos. Alyssa loves to cook, so
yeah,
do let us know if that is something that you guys are actually interested in. Yeah.
So for this video, we're just gonna jump right into it. You guys know what's going on. We're gonna be doing a Q&A. This is a really honest one. So let's jump right into it, shall we? We shall. At what age, if Avery asked, would you tell her how she came into the world? I think as early as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think as soon as she's able to ask that question, she obviously is looking for an answer.
Yeah. Did you ever think you might break up during the hard months after birth? Yes.
Yeah.
1000%. We did not have an easy experience, as you guys have seen from our videos.
Yeah.
We had a colicky baby who literally never slept, who cried 24/7.
Yeah.
So yes, and the thing is, it's like, we're not the only couple that has dealt with that.
Yeah.
We're not the only couple that has ever felt that way. And I truly wish a lot more couples out there that have babies on the internet would talk about stuff like that, instead of pretending that everything is so perfect, when I think you want to put on this like mask of like everything's so great. But like, I think it's good to show people that things are hard, your relationship does struggle.
Yeah. And I think, like, I mean, for us, like, in particular, like, we still, like, have times where it's, like, it's really hard and stuff.
Of course.
And, you know, having a baby is hard on any relationship, you know? It can either bring you guys really close in some ways, or kind of push you apart a little bit. And, like, for us, it's kind of, like, a little bit of both.
Back and forth.
You know? Like,
it also doesn't help that our first year of motherhood is during a pandemic. No one could have predicted that. So there's no rule book of like how you should act, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. So we're still learning, but at the end of the day, like, we want to be together, we love each other.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. Relationships are hard, and if you're willing to put in the work, then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys take turns with Avery at night, like when she's crying? I'm assuming this is when you guys are talking about before she was sleep trained. Tell them what we did.
Yeah, so in the beginning, especially when she was super colicky and everything, you know, most babies, they don't sleep. Everybody knows it. So what we would do is we would trade on and off. Alyssa tends to stay up later at night. So she would, like, you know, if I went to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, she would stay awake, or, you know, try and sleep a little bit or whatnot. But she would be with Avery until like
4, 5, or 6, depending on what she would do for sleeping.
Yeah, and then, you know, she'd come in and wake me up, and then we'd swap.
I would either wake her up and tell her, okay, this is the second time she's been up, or I would go in and be like, hey, so like, I'm really tired, like, you've slept for now 6 hours, like, would you mind trading with me? She's still asleep, so go out there and sleep until she wakes up.
Yeah.
And it was truly still not as easy as we're making it sound.
Yeah, it was still really hard.
Not sure if this is too personal, but how has your intimacy changed since having Avery? This kind of goes with the other question we posted, like we just said, like 2 questions ago.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be honest with you. The first 5 months of her life, 5.5 months of her life, with her being colicky, I mean, personally for us, like, you don't even like think like, oh my god, like, I wanna like be intimate, like, because you're literally not even a human at that point.
100%.
And also, as you guys know, I have a lot of health issues, and one of the health issues I have is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which means I have a hormone imbalance. So my body doesn't understand how to be a woman. And with that being said, like, my body is like, there's like a very like either like low libido or like high libido or whatever.
And she's also on birth control too, which, you know, some of you might know or whatnot, can also affect your libido and everything. So for Alyssa, her libido is very low. And
but the thing is like Sam and I communicate, and we always are like, okay, so what can I?
And we're not perfect with it, so let's get that also straight.
Yeah.
Because we're not perfect with it. I tend to shut down and expect her to understand what I am feeling, and sometimes she can do the same thing, you know, which obviously like doesn't help either of us,
but,
you know.
I mean, also too, like we just, you know, we communicate and we say things like, okay, so like, what is it that I'm not doing that you want right now, and what is it that like you think I'm doing too much of or not enough of or whatever, and like also like, you know, just appreciating what the other person is doing. So again, we're not perfect. This is making it sound all fairy tales, rainbows, and butterflies, but it's not like that.
And at the end of the day, that's why like we're saying this, because it's not all
and I think it's,
you know, smoke and mirrors. We're not the couple that's going to, you know, make out constantly and, you know, put that online.
Which is
whatever.
something that we always get shit for, because people assume so many things about our relationship. But like, if you think about it, like, we've been together for how long now? I'm sorry if you believe that like you're just making out all the time. Like, you're not doing that. Now, especially in quarantine, we're seeing each other 24/7. So we don't kiss on camera, because honestly, like, I feel like we don't spend
our whole day kissing.
No, you don't. I'm sorry, you don't do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's better for us to show you guys a real relationship than to show you, you know, rainbows and butterflies, because at the end of the day, these couples that have broken up, LGBT or not, that you may or may not know of, they have posted up until the day they broke up, them always kissing, them always acting like they're so in love, and then they break up and everyone's like, what? I did not see this coming. And I'm like, this is a real relationship. I'm not saying that those relationships were not real.
And we're also not giving them shit for it, because here's the thing, at the end of the day, as a content creator online, we understand what is going to do really well with the audience and whatnot, for the most part. But being lovey-dovey and kissing in every thumbnail and every photo and, you know, being all over each other, that's going to do really well. But at the end of the day, that's not the truth.
That's
you
not
know,
realistic.
like, it's not realistic to our relationship. Like, we are a couple that's been together now for over 5 years. We have a baby, you know, like, we've lived together from the beginning. Like, you get into routine, and maybe that's, you know, and that's something that I think we definitely have to work on as a couple, for sure, you know, to try and like bust out of that and whatnot, because we can get bored, you know, like we can get boring, of course.
Like, but relationships are boring, and
relationships that are worth it are boring.
Yeah. Okay. Is living in Texas a permanent thing? Do y'all miss LA? We miss LA.
We do miss LA. We miss our friends in LA more.
Yeah. Texas is not a permanent thing. We are actually trying to figure out a very, very, very safe, non-plane way to move right now. So that's
not at the moment. We're like not planning on moving at the moment, because one, we're in a pandemic. Two, we're in a pandemic despite the fact that people are acting like we're not. Yeah. But like also our lease isn't up yet. It's just it's not a forever thing. Like, we've talked about it before. In the beginning, we moved here and we hoped it would be, you know. But COVID has kind of opened our eyes a little bit. So
I have many chronic issues. Like, Alyssa, how do you manage being a mom during flares? You have a supportive partner. That's literally it. What is the most difficult thing Avery does? Most difficult?
I don't know if there's anything that's like...
One of the hardest things, let me know if you agree with this.
Okay.
One of the hardest things to deal with right now, and since she has been born, I feel like, is the fact that Avery is she's not an eater.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
It's a struggle to get her to have a bottle. It's a struggle to get her to eat food. Those things are very difficult. And like, again, babies are very different. You can have a baby that loves to eat, who doesn't like to eat. And she's
Avery's
healthy.
best friend will eat anything that's in front of him.
Yeah. And mind you, we're saying this, Avery is right on track with her health. She's in perfect health. She's the perfect body weight. She's the perfect height. Like, she is great.
Like, we
she's
don't
eating.
Yeah, that doesn't come with like a concern from the doctors or us about like her being underweight or, you know, whatever, because she's right on track with everything. Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult thing, because we always feel like she's not eating enough, you know, like Avery has never been like, you know, babies are supposed to have X, you know, between X amount and X amount of formula a day, or, you know, whatever. She's never been the kid that like hits in that range, or, you know, trying to sit down for 2 meals a day with her is a struggle to get her to eat.
So it's difficult as a mom to feel like you're not doing enough when we are. What are you guys struggling with the most this freaking pandemic?
Yeah.
We are going insane because we are the very few influencers that are staying inside. So I think it feels like our apartment is big when we moved here, but now it feels like it's this big. It feels like we're going insane. That's it. If Avery does come out as trans, would you allow her to start transition?
I don't want to say yes, and I don't want to say no, because here's the thing. We are not trans. We are lesbians within the LGBTQ plus community. We love all of our trans audience and followers, and believe that if you are trans and you want to have surgery, take hormones, etc., to become who you really are, we absolutely, without a doubt, fully support that. And if that is who Avery is, if Avery one day looks at us and she says, I am a boy, or I am non-binary, or what have you, we will fully support her. That said, we want to make sure that we are always making the best decisions for her. So honestly, we would probably need to do more research around it. We'd need to talk to doctors. We'd need to really sit down with Avery and just discuss what she what he, they, you know, hopes for themselves. And, you know, it's a bigger answer than just yes or no.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think we just we're not as educated as I think we wish we were, and maybe if the time came, we would definitely do our research and stuff like that. And we're, like we said, we're not saying no, because we want our child to be happy and healthy and be herself or whatever. And when that conversation comes, we will talk with her to help her make the best decision for her. Will you stop showing Avery on camera when she grows up? This is an interesting question.
It is very interesting.
Because we are choosing to put her on camera, but at the end of the day, when she can vocalize her own thoughts and opinions and whatever, and if she does not want to be on camera, then we will stop that, because it's her decision, and, you know, it's her life. Yeah,
there's actually a mom blogger influencer that I follow who lives in the Bay Area. She has this really great thing with her kids. She has like 5 kids. If they want their picture taken and she is allowed to post it, she'll post it. Same with, you know, if they get a brand deal or whatever, like she asks her kids who wants to be involved, and they get a portion of it. And I think that's something that would be really awesome to do with Avery as well. You know, to kind of give her that option to do.
Yeah. So. Does having a baby take a toll on your anxiety? Yes. And I think
you more so than me.
100%. But I also think that, like, there's a thing called, like, first-time mom, like, anxiety, or first-time mom panic, or first-time mom, something like that, where, like, as a first-time parent, you literally are just, like, terrified of, like, everything.
Which is insanely normal, because you're now in charge of a life.
So
besides your own.
And I thought, prior to having a baby, I'm like, won't be so cool, won't be so chill. And then, because I love her so much, I feel like I'm so scared all the time, which is not a great thing to live by. I don't want to, like, live like that. But, I mean, your anxiety does go up. I think our anxiety is also up because of the pandemic. Our anxiety is up because we're constantly in the house 24/7. So it does go up. To which extent is completely individual.
Yeah.
Have any regrets on the sperm donor you guys use? Good question. No. Hell no.
Avery is
the cutest,
smartest, funniest
Most
baby.
special
Like,
human being in the entire world. Do you and Sam see adoption in your future?
Girl, I don't know.
What do you like?
Like, honestly, I know we've talked about it many times about adopting or having a second child or whatnot, and at this point, who knows?
Yeah,
Who
I mean, I
knows?
think if we didn't have a second child, like biologically, whatever, I think
Yeah.
that like regardless, I think we want to give Avery a sibling.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially adoption, but again, we are not adoptees. We do not. I don't personally know any people that were adopted. I think so. I think we would have to do a lot more like research and also make sure we have
Yeah.
the right resources for the child.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's very hard for an adoptee to
Yeah.
understand that they are not related to their parents. Like.
And also, if the child happened to be of a different ethnicity, you know, that's another thing to take into account.
Yeah,
is
because we are
needing resources for that.
we're white people, and like if we got a black child or an Asian child or an Indian child, or
Yeah.
but we would love that child and see them as equals, obviously.
But we would
maybe
want to make sure that they can also identify
I would-
with their ethnicity.
and I would
have
also
all the
want them to
resources for
feel
that.
as if they are equal to Avery and
Yeah.
equal to us. Like we would love that child as much as we loved Avery. Not
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Yeah.
be any different, because for me, I mean, me personally, Avery's not biologically related to me, so it would, to be honest, it'd be no different at all.
Yeah.
I think you would be a new thing for you, but
But
you
I
would
don't
love
think I
a child.
could. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So maybe adoption, that'd be great.
Who knows? Who knows, y'all?
Yeah.
We're just here.
Anyways, we hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up. Subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and follow us on all of our social media. They
Yes,
are
we
all
post
below.
them there all the
They're all right
time.
here. And we love you guys. Bye.
And that's the whoa on that. Is that not it? Is it still not it?
You're such a mom.